Pushing 97, so you know what that's like. It's time to tune in with Mona on Lots of Tea tonight.
She's famous with a makeup and a wig is on just right.
She's gonna spill the tea on her talk show tonight. We're gonna speak on topics that might be hard to take. Well, understand we gotta until the whole wide world's awake. Let's not waste another moment and get on with the show. Cause it's time to get things started. Why don't we get things started?
You better get things started.
On the most sensational, informational, celebrational, computational. Now it's time for Mona and the Show. She's a ghost, a blotch a team that we adore.
She's got so much to say and a whole lot more.
What do we do? She's got the answer. So she got herself a camera and a microphone to join Mona Lots for the show. She's got sass and pizzazz. Her name is Large Marge. Who would have set the studio team to be exactly what we all need? Now the chat always smiling. It's great to see so much pain relief. Her name with wigs and always has something funny to say. Her name is Large Marge, and that's just her way. Oh yeah.
Oh, honey, I think you're muted. You're muted.
I muted myself. I already fucked this up, and I've only been hosting for 5 seconds. Unfortunately, that bitch Mona's out chasing MILFs with her new Mona and the MILF Chasers band, so she can't be here tonight. So
She
you're
left us in
stuck with
charge.
a very ridiculous version of Gypsy Rose, from the musical, not the. But I look like I've been held in captivity by my mother for a while with this outfit tonight. So how are you, Angel? And Miss Angel, who's going to step in and at least just laugh at me so that I get some sort of feedback.
Gotta do something fun. Let's see.
So I want to thank you all very much for being here tonight, and I hope you enjoy this show. We have a wonderful evening tonight with Mr. Anthony Gibson, who is the astrologer to the stars and the knowledgeable man of all things Uranus and mine. So hopefully we're going to hear about some big crashing things that my anus is doing this evening, at least over the weekend.
You know, this conversation.
Well, if you enjoy us, make sure you follow us on Facebook, YouTube, sign up on our website, subscribe to our page. If you're out and about this weekend during this fantastical planetary interaction, try to stop by A Bob and see One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Definitely starring one of my BFFs as Ratchet, because she's pretty ratchet to start with, so she's very good for that role. And I don't know what else is going on in Ashtabula this weekend. You got anything?
A lot of
Nothing?
I think
A whole lot of nothing. So make sure you drive around town, smoke your cigarettes, do drives like we used to do in high school, where you do a little route, and enjoy the beautiful weather. And with that being said, enjoy the show. Stick around to see me make ass jokes all night. And to hear Anthony's actually stellar view of the interstellar things that are about to happen. So we're going to go to commercial. Time for some little D's.
Oh, Lord.
Hey everyone, everyone, it's Mona Lots. You know, everyone always asks me where I get my beautiful necklaces from. Well, that's easy. It's Team BFF from Paparazzi. Look them up on Facebook. They're easy to find. Team BFF from Paparazzi. Where would my social media be without Kish Photography? They offer various photo sessions, an outside-of-the-box experience offered by doing these sessions in select locations that are not confined by walls. Angel has a selection of prints of various scenes and animals that are available for purchase as well. Kish Photography.
Are you and your family looking for the perfect puppy? Well, what if I told you that would be simple? You'd probably say that I was crazy, right? Because we all know raising a new puppy is never simple. But Truvy and her littermates went through what is called puppy culture, where they were given obstacles and challenges at the early age of 2 weeks old. They listen to fireworks and thunderstorms, so they're used to it, and they don't respond to it when it happens. Many other things, just like being housebroken and crate trained. She even sits down when it's time to eat instead of jumping all around like a crazy puppy. You don't believe me? Here, watch this.
Mommy Jill has made a good impression, hasn't she? Because here sits every day when I get your food, and I'm going to go over here because we're going to put a little water in. She's so excited about it. And watch, she'll go sit. And she'll go over here and sit. Because here's a good girl. She makes her turn. A little water in it. Watch this excitement right here. And I'm going to put a little water in it right here. And it goes right to her bowl. There knows where her bowl is. And eats their breakfast.
So, if you're ready for that perfect puppy, contact Jill at 440-858-7273 or contact her at Facebook at Muddy Puppy Farm. Puppy's so good, you'll be glad they're a muddy puppy. And Truvy has 3 of her sisters still left back at the farm. They're looking for the best homes, so contact Jill today.
Oh my god, you guys. I just thought that I was hitting the video button, but I hit the take a picture button, and we're gonna look at, this is what my picture looks like right here. But anyway, listen. Earlier I took 2 of these gummies. Oh. Okay. Alright, they were delicious. Oh my god. Alright, bye.
And we are about to bring on the most amazing astrologer that I have ever met, next to my mother, Anthony Gibson. And he is going to tell us this evening about the stuff that the planets are doing that involve Uranus and Jupiter, and some shit's going to happen. For me especially, I might actually get laid. It's going to be great. Hi, Anthony.
Hey, Marge, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here.
All
I'm
right.
missing
You want
Mona,
to
but
like,
you're
oh, I know I miss Mona too, but you can't keep her away from those MILFs or the DILFs. Um, can you better explain to our audience what it is exactly that you're here to talk about tonight?
yeah. So on Saturday the 20th, two of the biggest players in the heavens above, Jupiter and Uranus, are going to be conjunct, um, which means that they're in the same place at the same time. So they'll be like in perfect alignment with us here on Earth.
So
So when
Jupiter's
this
going to be in
happens,
my anus.
for sure, yeah, and Jupiter's really big, so I would prepare for that.
That might be a
Lots of
problem.
stretching, lots of lube.
Dilate first.
But no, I
Okay.
mean, yeah. Before we talk about that, I want to touch on what happened recently, like leading up to this, because it's kind of important to the story of what's going on. So I'm sure everyone, not everyone watching, but most people were aware of the total solar eclipse that happened April 8th, which was a big deal.
Yes.
But right before that, we had a lunar eclipse in Libra, and then 2 weeks later, we had the solar eclipse in Aries, which eclipses are moments of. I mean, if you look at what's actually happening, they eclipse each other. So the energy, it's almost like this reset happens. And with them happening on the Libra Aries axis, it really affected it's called the relationship axis. Like Libra is others and Aries is the self. So
It
it
affected
was
our
kind of like this
relationship
energetic.
with others, like our
Yes.
connection
So
with
Libra would
others.
be yes. So Libra is like how we connect with others, like in partnership, and Aries represents the self. So
How we,
obviously the
okay.
self is yeah, how we show up. So there was like this huge and the solar eclipse was conjunct Chiron, also in Aries, which is the wounded healer. So there was like this huge reset that we had within relationship with ourselves and how we show up in relationship to other people. So I don't
Okay,
know
now
if anyone out there.
Chiron is not a planet that I ever learned about in school.
Yeah, Chiron's not a planet.
Oh,
Chiron is a meteor. Yeah, it's a meteor. It's part of
oh,
the
okay,
Kelvin belt. Yeah. So
okay,
and all of the meteors are um, named after centaurs. So Chiron in the mythic tale of Chiron is Chiron was a centaur who was um, wounded in battle, and I think he was hit with like a poison dart or a poison spear or something like that. And
isn't a
so
centaur like a half horse, half person thing?
yes, which is the archetype for Sagittarius. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. But so
That
Chiron,
explains a
he
lot about my husband on the lower half. Okay, fair, fair. He's a Sagittarius.
I love it. Which is probably going to work in your benefit
It
once we
always
dive
does.
into your chart. And yeah, so but no, so Chiron, he was wounded in battle. The story goes he was wounded in battle, and he spent his entire life researching and studying to try to heal himself, and he never was able to. But in the process, he learned all these like modalities to heal others and help other people. But unfortunately, wasn't able to heal himself. So because of that, Zeus immortalized him and put him in the heavens. So Chiron in
Oh,
our chart will show like our deepest wounds that we need to heal. And so when Chiron's in Aries, it's the wound of the self. So
so
we had this huge
Chiron in his day job was a therapist. Really
basically,
wounded,
yeah,
couldn't heal himself, but could heal everybody else. Okay,
exactly.
got it.
So when this happened, it created this like restart for all of us. I mean, I definitely felt it. But we might have like people might have seen relate certain relationships falling to the wayside or getting to a point of deciding to just not deal with certain behaviors. both in other people and in ourselves.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So that leads us up to now, where Jupiter on Saturday, Jupiter and Uranus are going to join in the sky, and so Jupiter is it it's like it's the biggest planet that we have. So if you think about like the enormous energy that it brings, anything that Jupiter touches, it expands. Um, so it's like the planet of
Fair.
good
Then
fortune.
Jupiter would be expanding Uranus with its big Jupiter
Exactly.
energy. Excellent.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And then Uranus is the planet of like it's like a rebel energy. It's like Uranus is here to like shake things up. It's also tied to it's the planet that represents the collective unconscious. So a lot of things that happen in society, and you got to think about it too. Both these planets are huge and they're pretty far out there. So their transits, the amount of time it takes for them to go around is much slower than say Mercury or the Moon or Venus or Mars. So their energies are more generational. But when these two planets meet, we there's definitely going to be like major um, innovation and set happening, but it doesn't. That sounds bad at face value, but the ultimate goal of both of these planets is to be beneficial. So anything that happens because of this, like anything that like either breaks down or breaks through, it's for your highest good. So it
So what
might
I'm
not seem
hearing
so
is
great.
like initially when Jupiter hits Uranus, there's going to be a little friction. But if
Yeah.
you kind of just get past that, let it settle, it'll eventually be good. It'll feel good.
Yeah,
It
so
takes
this is
time,
happening
though.
in
It
the
takes
sign.
time.
Yes. So it's happening in the sign of Taurus, which Taurus is like a very stable and grounded earth energy. Yes. Yes. So, if you think
I
about
am
like
a big bull
Jupiter
and around Earth.
expanding,
Yes, I am, Anthony.
yes. Which is why we love you. But um because it's happening in the sign of Taurus, it's going to I'll put it this way. Depending on where you are in your journey, like if these things are good for you, if your Taurian sector is great, then this is kind of just a reminder that things can get better. That things can always get better. But if maybe you're not so self-aware or you haven't been doing the work, it might be a bit more abrupt of an energy happening for you.
Oh, okay.
But either way, it's meant to push us forward, both individually and as a collective. So it might seem scary at first, or it might seem scary to hear this, but and some of the things that might come out of it might be scary because, um, like I said, Uranus rules like innovation and like forward thinking, and Jupiter expands that, and it's happening in Taurus, which is like our finances, like the land itself. So there might be like natural disasters that happen, like earthquakes or volcanoes or anything like that, something like that. So which is kind of scary, but at the same time, like the Earth is going through transformation just as the same as we are. So, um,
Okay.
but on a more personal level, like anything that is disrupted in our life, the value of that is that it brings it to our attention so that we can, like, move forward, eh, changing that,
Yes,
and
and
Uranus
learn from
really
it. Like
wants us.
learn to heal it.
Exactly, exactly,
Okay.
but the reason why I was so excited to do this episode ahead of this conjunction is because if you're aware of it, you can actually use this information and use it as a springboard because this conjunction only happens every 14 years. So, and the last time that it happened in the sign of Taurus was in World War II. And the next one, you said it earlier, I forget exactly when. Do you remember the dates of when it will
It
happen
was
next in Taurus?
2107 or something like that. It was
Yeah,
83 years from now.
yeah, so it won't be in our lifetime. But I mean, these two planets will meet again in every 14 years, but in a different sign. Um, But like I said, the last time that it happened in Taurus was during World War II. So, it doesn't have to.
I mean, I
I'm
will
not
say
trying
that's
to.
roughly the length of time that I give my Uranus to cool down. Anyways, about 14 years before I let anything near it again. So this is definitely a magical thing. You said so many things that just wide opened you for a joke, and I tried very hard to control myself. So we're looking at a breakdown or a breakthrough experience, and then a long period of either healing and growing from that or kind of taking off from that, right?
Hopefully both.
Okay.
Like I said, depending on where you are in your journey, like some people who are the people watching this and whoever watches this in the replay, like you can be aware of it and prepare for it and be open to like unexpected things and know that those things happening are not meant to bring us down or bring fear into our life. They're actually there to shake things up. Um, so if you are aware of it, this can be a really great time. Even if it's not something welcomed, being aware of it is like a huge gift that we have because that we're able to like not be so reactive to it, you know?
Okay. That's
So, and
interesting. So
I will
this
say
show is
this,
essentially lubricating Uranus for Jupiter's big move.
sure,
You
for
knew
sure.
what
And
you
Jupiter,
signed on for tonight with the Uranus jokes. I
I'm
apologize.
here
I
for it.
can't
I'm
help
here for
myself.
it.
I'm a 13-year-old boy.
No, when I found out that you were hosting, I was like, okay, get ready for the jokes. But
So how does
no, and
this like
Jupiter's like,
how do you take advantage of this? So like if I'm lubricated, I'm ready to go. I'm in a good spot in my life and I want powerful positive things to happen with this event on the weekend on Saturday. What would you do to kind of like prepare and take advantage of that powerful energy?
okay, so there's two parts to this answer. Um, One, well, I'll just go through. I wrote down a list of like things that we can do. So the biggest thing is just be open to change, be open to new things coming, and try not to let fear hold you back from experiencing the great energy that or the great change that this could actually be bringing to your life. You know, a lot of times, like in astrology, um, most people don't know about what's going on up in the heavens, right? So like we're just like moving through life and not aware of these like huge celestial bodies and how they're affecting us. But um knowing it and being open to what lessons they can bring you is I think it's why I like started studying astrology and why I feel so compelled to share it with people because it has helped me immensely. Like under like tracking, even like down to the moon. We see the moon every day, right? So like by understanding where the moon is and then how it's affecting you personally, like
It allows you to
it's
be
so
like more
enlightening.
prepared for situations, deal with things
Yes,
kind of with more of a response as opposed to reaction and kind of
exactly,
gives you it doesn't
exactly.
tell you like, hey, you're going to trip over your sneaker tomorrow, but it does allow you to
No,
maybe be more watchful that for things that get in the way of your path, right?
exactly, 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 exactly. Yes. So
Awesome. So be
so being
open.
open to change.
This is
Yes.
so difficult for me to not compare all of this to anal sex. I am so sorry. Be open. Don't.
Well, think about it. What's
You
happening is
got to be
just like
open.
anal sex. Anyone who ever has experienced anal sex, especially for the first time, right? You think you know what it's gonna be like, but you don't know what it's gonna be like, and you have to like you're like thrust into this, no pun intended, but like thrust into this like unexpected like sensation that you have to like either stick with or push away. But I hope
It's
that no
kind of
one
the
pushes
same
away.
thing. So if you stick with it, though, it usually pays off,
Yes,
from what I've
it
heard.
becomes very enjoyable. Yes, yes. So a big thing too would be to just not fight against any new changes that are happening and just be aware that they're happening for a reason. It's everything that happens, the good and the bad, is always for our highest good. Always. It might not seem like it in the moment, but at the end of the day, it's a lesson learned and it's part of our soul's journey, a part of our soul's like educational plan to go through these things. So
That's pretty cool.
which
But it's not
yeah,
going to affect everybody the same way. So
no.
I want to know how it's going to affect me because I'm selfish and I need to know these things because I can
Well,
want to be
no,
prepared.
no, and you actually should. I'm glad that you want to know this because when I looked at your chart, this is happening. It's almost kismet that you're the one hosting and that we're looking at your chart because it's actually affecting you very, very personally. So, um, but for anyone else, well, I think that there's a graphic of your chart. I don't know if we could bring that up so everyone can look at it. There we go. Um, so this is Marge's chart, but anyone can
Swear.
find out where this is happening in their own personal chart by just locating Taurus. Which
Which one is
so
Taurus?
your Taurus is it's the one all the way on the right side of the chart that looks like
Oh, it
a
looks like
bull's
the
head.
little bull.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Oh, I got a lot of shit
yeah,
going on over there.
you do. You have a lot of shit
Okay.
going on over there, which is why it's affecting you greatly. Um,
Okay.
but for anyone else that's watching, like your ascendant will decide the layout of your house system. So if you look at the chart, like all those slices of pie, they're each different houses. And houses represent like different areas of life where these things happen. So like the first house is the self. It's where our ascendant is, which yours is in Scorpio. So then everything falls in line after that. Second house is values. Third house is communication. Fourth house is our roots. Fifth house is joy and creativity. And when we like start, it's like dating energy. Sixth house is like our daily routines. And seventh house, which is what's happening in your where it's happening for you, is in the relationship sector. So coming off of this eclipse cycle that we just went through, this is actually incredibly poignant for you. Um,
Ooh.
but we'll get back to that. So then eighth house, if it's happening in your eighth house, it's happening in your it's that's the Scorpio house. So it's like the darker intimacy level of
That's
relationship.
my freak
Ninth
side. Get
house,
my freak on. That's my freaky side. That's my mom always
yeah,
said you were freak because you got Scorpio ascending or something like that. She's like, you watch Potty Mouth.
yeah.
I didn't
So
listen.
actually, my chart, I'm a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio sun, but I'm a Scorpio rising also. So our chart layout is very different. Obviously, our planets are different places, but um, we have the same house system. So,
Whoa.
but yeah. So then ninth house is the house of like higher learning and foreign travel, like worldly knowledge. It's like the house of like the mystic, like mystical energy.
Oh,
10th
okay.
house is yeah, 10th house is the house of career in our reputation, like how we're viewed in our adult life in public. 11th house is the house of communities and like groups that we belong to, like who like our tribes. And then 12th house, the 12th house is like the unknown house. It's like it's typically it's
It's the haunted
traditionally ruled
house.
by sort of. I mean, that's where things like that happen. Like it's like the unknown. It's ruled by it's the Piscean house, which is ruled by
Anthony, there's a
Neptune. So
lot of
it
shit on the little blurb in the 12th house, too. I don't like that.
no, well that's okay. No, that's
A lot of little
having a lot of
characters.
stuff. Having a lot of stuff in the 12th house is really good actually, because
Oh,
especially for what you do, because the 12th house is once again it's the subconscious, right? So what's there? Let me look at your chart. I have it right here.
there's blurby things
So
on it. I can't see. I'm too old to see this far away.
you have your Saturn and Pluto there.
Okay.
In the sign of Libra. So Pluto is like transformational energy, and Saturn is like restriction. Um,
Oh,
and yeah, so that probably
that's
plays
like
with
a
that.
restrictive transformation that I'm not
Yes,
maybe
but
aware of yet.
no, you are. You might not be consciously aware of it. Like I said, the 12th house is a subconscious, but because you have these two placements here, which they're very like they're called malefic energies. Um, they give you the ability to understand it on a soul level so that in the work that you do, you're able to like you have a firsthand knowledge of what it's like to have this intensity of the unknown. So
Ah,
it's not as uncomfortable for you when dealing with trauma victims, you know? So it
okay.
makes sense that yeah.
Okay.
So and honestly, like there's nothing things might seem scary, just like in tarot, like there's certain cards that look scary, but like I want to reiterate that nothing in the universe we live in fear. A lot of us have fear like ingrained in us, anxiety, all these things, but those are choices that we make. Like,
Okay. So you can choose whether or not to be afraid of it, or you can choose to accept it. Your soul is already
both.
accepting it on a subconscious level. Your
Exactly.
soul is already aware that it's happening.
Exactly. Just like
Awesome.
death, like people are afraid of dying, but like it's part of the process, you know? Like some
You don't
people
really have a
are.
choice. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that you're not so scared of dying because you have Pluto in Saturn in the 12th house. Like
Right. And I
I would
smoke a
think that
pack a day.
death to you is not like a, you know, a thing to be afraid of.
Right.
But all right, so
Interesting.
back to your chart.
Okay. Sorry.
So if you look, your sun. Oh, and I want to say this. Tomorrow is the first day of Taurus season, so happy birthday to any Tauruses out there. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yours is coming up. But if you notice, right next to the Taurus symbol is your sun. So
Oh,
your sun,
that's the thing that looks
your
like the boob with the nipple.
yes,
Okay.
with the nipple, yeah. So interestingly enough, your sun is directly opposite your ascendant, which doesn't always happen. Like my sun is in the first house, like right
Oh,
below
they
my
don't always
ascendant.
just line up like
Yeah.
that.
So the reason that your mom like brought up like your Scorpio ways is because not only is your ascendant like your outward presentation very scorpionic, but your sun is like directly shining on that. So
Yeah.
yours
That's
is
what
your
makes a
Scorpio,
large Marge.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But it also allows you to like like command yourself, you know, and deal with
Okay.
like Scorpio is a very powerful energy, you know, and
Mhm.
some people get put off by that, but other people are drawn to it. Like
Cool.
Scorpios are one of the most like what's the word? Dynamic energies. Either you love them or you hate them, you know?
Fair. Fair.
But fair, yeah. And I mean, I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart, so I know it firsthand. But those who don't love me are just not for me. It's as
There
I've
you
made
go.
peace with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But so if we look at your chart, right where Uranus and
My anus.
Uranus, yeah, Uranus and Jupiter are conjunct. It's conjunct your natal Mars. So where Mars was in the sky when you were born is at the same degree, or I think it's like a degree off, but it's called it's called
It's
an
still
orb.
like right there, like close enough.
Yeah. So what that means is like this conjunction is conjuncting your natal Mars, right? So it's like this trifecta of energy. It's like a hybrid energy of all these things. So it's going to be
Wow.
affecting your Mars energy, which Mars is our passion, it's our drive. It's like it's our divine masculine. It's like what gets us up and going. So with Jupiter, which expands everything, and Uranus, which wants to innovate, shining together in alignment with your natal Mars, this this conjunction is actually like a super um, potent time for you to expand and innovate in Martian energies. So being active, like if you have a fitness routine or not have a fitness routine, this might be a time to like get up and go.
We all know I
Um,
don't have a fitness routine,
well,
but I'm working on
I,
it. I should open my
yes,
pool on the 20th, not the 1st. Very good.
and so like I said, this energy is coming to shine light or to shake things up in our lives, right?
Okay.
So, you know, you might not have had a routine or a, a
Like a
fitness
fitness
routine or like a
routine,
right
but I
or
might
a
be able
way
to
that you're
develop
being
one now
active.
that this energy has like pushed me to do so.
I would recommend it highly because
Yeah,
our
so would my doctors.
yeah, I mean for anyone like our Martian energy is like it's the god of war, right? So it's like it's our inner fire, right? And if you don't
Ooh.
stoke your fire, you kind of aren't set up to be able to shine the way that you're supposed to, you know?
Well, thank
So
God Becky down there is going to come, and I say down there because the little box is over there, is going to come and teach some water aerobics in my pool and get me moving. And that'll be really good.
it's super fitting because like I said, this is happening in your seventh house of relationships. So it's like
Awesome.
relationships and
And all my
partnerships. So
girls
it's
are coming. So that'll
very
be
cool.
good. So it'll
Yes,
strengthen all those bonds with my friends as well.
Yes.
Awesome.
Something I want
So
to add on to that is Uranus, like I said, brings innovation and like forward. It's like a leveling up. So, and it's
yes,
happening in
yes.
Taurus. This is happening in Taurus, which is our like money and our values. So, yes, you'll build the value of friendship and all of that kind of stuff. But, and this goes to anyone listening, like wherever this is happening in your chart, like this is an opportunity for you to bring in like security or like some type of financial, like this energy supports taking what you like to do or what you love to do and bringing in cash somehow. Like, and that's different for everyone. Like I said, depending on what house is happening in for you. But Uranus also is the ruler of all things social media and the internet. Like I said, it's our
Oh my.
collective
So what essentially
subconscious.
you're telling me to do, this is what I'm hearing, is I need to get on OnlyFans and start some sort of very vulgar aerobics videos for fat people.
With all of your friends and your
And I
partners.
will, with
Yes,
all of my friends,
all of
and
them.
I will make $1 million. Excellent. I can do that. I will get right on that right now.
All right. Well, because I told you I want my cut.
Okay, that's fine. You can join.
So, okay. Well, it's happening in my the same house for me. So I don't have Mars there, but um oh, Mars and Marge, they sound a
Oh,
lot alike.
yeah.
So yeah.
You don't need Marge in Uranus, but
Mm,
Mars might be good.
yeah. So like I said, wherever this is happening in your chart personally, not you, but everyone else watching, um, you can, and like I said, it's simple to find. You just look, you find your ascendant, and and then look for you find your ascendant, and then it will place the houses in order, and then you look for which house Taurus is in. And then
So
from there,
I'm acting like I got a PowerPoint. The Scorpio is the one that looks like a wig at noon.
no, that's Leo. Scorpio's directly opposite. It's the M with the tail at the end of it on the left-hand side.
Oh, that's Scorpio. So the outside layer of this chart are the rooms, the houses. The next
No,
layer are the signs, and then the planets are on the layer inside that, like the sun and
yeah.
the
Well, okay. So the very outside circle is, yes, you can see the house numbers there, but that's where the current they're called transits are. So that's where the planets
oh.
currently are. The blue ones are currently the black ones in the center ring. Those are your natal planets. So that's where the
Those are my
planets were
natal
when you were born.
planets. Okay.
Yes. So
Wow.
when you were born, yeah. So when you were born, Neptune was in Sagittarius. That's the black ones on the inside are your own personal ones. So that's how you can
Okay.
like that's like part of your DNA, like how you're designed, right?
Nice.
So you
It's like
can
my
look to
soul
see,
DNA.
yes.
Cool.
Well, it's yes and no. It's your soul's um like hidden treasure map for you. Like if you
Okay.
understand these things, you can understand like what your soul signed up for you to master in this lifetime, right?
So what you're
So
here to do, what you're here to teach, what you're here to learn.
exactly.
Okay.
And then you can look at where the planets are, like where the planets are right now, and see how they affect each other,
Okay.
right? That's the beauty of astrology. It's like everyone's is different. Like we all live in the same world, so Sagittarius, no matter where you're on this planet, like the sun being in the same part of the sky is going to affect everyone. It's going to have the same effect, but it's not going to have the same effect on everyone because it's going to affect a Sagittarius different than it's going to affect Leo and so on and so forth. So
Okay. Wow.
so yeah.
So you do you have other things to say about my chart?
Yeah, well, let's look. You mean in reference to
I just mean
what's
like that
happening?
for the show, or you said earlier, so Auntie and I had a pre-show call because I'm cool and I didn't know what I was doing. And you said something about a golden oracle card.
Oh yeah, I have an oracle deck that I didn't know if you wanted to do it or not, but I was gonna pull a deck that it's not astrology based, but
I will
it's
do it.
another tool.
I'm down, but I will tell you right now, if you motherfucking pull the tower reversed, I'm leaving.
Why? The Tower Reverse is great.
Maybe it's
So,
just the tower regular. I always get that card and it hates me.
but no, so look, that's you hate it. It has no affinity
Fair.
otherwise. Like it. So the tower. I'm glad you brought that up. The tower, the energy of the tower card is the same energy that Uranus brings. Sudden upheaval, like things crashing to the ground. Like that's the type of innovation and like um changeability that Uranus is bringing. Now, like I said, it doesn't. Okay,
So
the
it could
beauty of
be
the
good,
tower
it
card,
could be bad. We don't really know. I shouldn't judge a card by its cover. Okay. But I
it's
shit you
always
not, if you pull that card, I'm going to cry.
it's always good.
Okay.
It's
It's
just
always good.
where you're at in your awareness of what that is, you know? Like
Well, that's fair because I feel like when I used to have my cards read like repeatedly, I was not at a good place in my life. So maybe that's why that card always scared me.
yeah.
So maybe
Well, I
now
mean,
it's like a good card.
yeah, and you're like you have a huge it's called a stellium. You have a stellium in Taurus, which means you have more than 3 planets in the same sign. So Taurus energy is it's fixed Earth. So you don't
Yeah,
like a
it
lot
is.
of changes, you know?
Okay.
It's this isn't you're not like you have cardinal energy, which is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. They're like the leader, like they're good at leading, starting things. That's the seasons start with Aries is the spring, Cancer's the summer,
Oh, okay.
and so
Okay.
forth. Yeah. So and then after that you have fixed energy, which is Scorpio, Taurus, or I'll do it in order. Taurus,
Did you say thick or dick?
Scorpio.
Did you say
Yeah,
dick
no, no,
energy?
no. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Those are
Oh,
fixed energies. So if you think about like the progression of the year, so you have the start of a season, right? We'll start with the beginning. So you have Aries, which is the start of the wheel, right, of the year.
okay.
Then Taurus comes in, and it's the fixed energy. So it takes us through that season, right? So like there's not a lot that changes during a Taurus season or through a Leo season. Leo's the height of the summer, Scorpio's the fall, and Aquarius is the
Okay.
winter, right? So like there's not a lot it's very fixed energy. Then at the end of those seasons, you have the mutable energies, which are Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. Those are mutable energies. So they're
Oh,
meant to like transform us into the next season, right?
okay.
So you have a lot of Taurus. You do have some Libra. The
I got that
only
thick
well, no,
energy.
yeah. So
Gonna
you
be
have
my
like
new nickname.
you don't like the shakeup of things, but this is a teachable moment, right? Or this is a prime opportunity for you to not only be aware of it, but welcome it in, knowing that it's only for your highest good. You
Okay.
know?
That's cool. That's a good
So
lesson to take out of this.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, I can pull some cards. So I
All
have
right, I'm gonna put my virtual woo woo energy into the oracle deck, and we're gonna see what you pull.
this is what
Wow,
I'm
I
gonna do. So
felt a queen of swords, and I don't know why, but go for it.
this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to if you want a reading, I'm gonna pull I'll pull 3 cards from an actual tarot deck.
Okay.
Okay. And then for the collective, for everyone watching, I'll pull an golden future oracle deck. All right,
Yay.
cool.
Okay.
All right. So do you have anything specific that you want to look at, or do you want to look at it in reference to the energies that's coming up?
Let's look at it in reference to Jupiter and Uranus.
Cool. And Mars. Don't forget Mars is in there.
Mars.
Oh, and while I'm doing this, something to keep in mind, you kind of touched on it earlier, that this is the start of a 14-year cycle. So this is not like these things might like suddenly appear, but it's not just going to be like overnight success. Like this is the start of a very long cycle. But if you, it's like getting in on the ground floor. Like if you are aware of it and use it to your advantage, It could
I
be a
have to go buy
springboard for
stock this weekend. I'm excited. I'm buy stock in
yeah. Well,
OnlyFans.
let's see what your cards say. We'll see if it comes up in there.
Okay. I'm very wiggly tonight. I don't know why.
You're very what?
Wiggly. I'm wiggling a lot.
Nothing
Yes,
wrong with
I
that.
wiggle.
Well, like I said, you would benefit from being more active and more physical. So maybe this is you getting an early start.
I think it's just because I have to pee before the show started and I didn't have time.
Okay.
Oh, Mona is never going to let me do this show by myself again. Oh, what was
Why you
that?
say that?
Oh, no. Because I made all the dirty jokes.
She loves it. Why do you think she chose you?
Because I offered.
Okay, one. Oh,
Uh-oh.
all right.
Uh-oh, what are these? 2 shot out at the end. I have that happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Got some swords in there, didn't you? Or are those wands?
So we have the 3 of Swords here. I don't know. Can you see that? Here, this way.
Okay. I can also
So we
see
have
your
the 3.
balls. So angle the camera down just a little bit more. I had to say it. I'm sorry. I love your balls, but that's okay. Excellent.
Okay.
Are those all freaking swords?
No. We have 3 of
Oh.
Swords, 8 of Wands, and the King of Wands. So we have actually mostly fire energy here.
Oh, okay.
And then this is the Fountain. This is a deck that adds another card called the Fountain, which I'm not familiar with. So let me just look up what that means real quick.
The Fountain.
Yeah,
It's like the
and
tower's angry cousin.
no, it's
That's
beautiful. Look,
beautiful.
yeah,
That's
and
actually
it
very
has
beautiful.
the infinity sign here, which I love. So let's see what
Ooh.
this.
I feel like you're telling me I'm going to hit the Powerball with all this. I'm going to
Well,
go
you
play
know
the
what?
lottery.
This is if any time was going to happen. This would like I said, Jupiter expands. Uranus is like very out of the blue, unexpected, and it's happening in Taurus, which is our finances. So you know what? Anyone who
Powerball it
feels
is.
anyone who feels the intuitive itch to go play the lottery, do it. And then when you win, remember where you heard it. So
Yes, and
all right.
Becky commented she is actually starting her long journey to her master's degree within the next couple of weeks. So she is
Yes.
feeling this 14-year energy. That's about how long it took for me too.
Congratulations. I'm super so psyched to hear
Yay,
that.
Becky.
It's amazing to me like when I see people's astrology like playing out in real life. It's so cool.
Okay.
It's what gets me excited about it. It's what gets my dick hard. So all right, so because the fountain came out here, well, I'm going to read this real quick. So it says B. The fountain exists outside and beyond the cycles of birth, death, time, and form. It is the nameless, changeless source of which everything is a part of. It is the waking from the dream of separateness and identity and the recognition of oneself as not only connected to all things, but all things divine nature. When the fountain appears in your reading, relinquish all illusion and control and remain quiet. It invites you to observe, master less, and to just be, effortless and indistinguishable from life. You are the voice and the breath of the universe. So, this is actually a really, really great, poignant card because I didn't touch on this in when I was talking about this conjunction, but Uranus is a very it wants us to like live in our authentic self. Like it wants us to be our authentic selves. It wants us to like be okay with like who we are and not giving a fuck about what anyone has to say about it.
All
Right.
right.
So this is actually I'm glad that this came up, and I think it came up for me to be able to bring that out. So, you know, at this conjunction, like it's important that we throw out any old maps or any old ways of doing things or ways of thinking about things and really be open to new, exciting, and like fresh takes
Ooh.
on how we can move forward, especially around our finances. So I think I might have said this, but if anyone has been on the fence about like leaving their 9 to 5 or like pivoting and like going out on their own or like starting their own business, starting their own YouTube channel, anything online, like anything social media or internet based is going to do really well if this is what you have
Okay.
been on the fence about and being called to do. Like this would be an incredibly ideal
Wow.
time to start that.
Well,
Yeah.
isn't that
So
crazy? Okay.
yeah, so even like online education. So I don't know if Becky is learning virtual or
Yeah,
in person, but
she is
but
virtual.
this yeah, this is super ideal. So
Cool.
um all right. So let's start. So this came over top of the King of Wands. So the King of Wands reversed is a card that okay, the King of Wands upright is like super fair and just, um, like super charismatic. But the King of Wands reverse is a more like uh domineering and um what's the word? Manipulative type of energy, right? So it coming in reverse wants it I think it wants me to let you know that, and not just you, but it's not only okay to shine, not only just now, but ever. It's not only okay to shine, but it's actually like your job to do that, like authentically, but not to the point where it's gonna cause conflict for you or for anyone else, right?
Okay.
So
So
like
can I read that as like, don't be afraid of the internet trolls knocking you down, continue to show your authentic self if I
yes,
wanted to do something online?
yes. Or even like in your personal experiences, like if anyone's trying to like yuck your yum and like make you feel bad for wearing a wig like that or even smoking a cigarette or whatever it is that you might do that people might have an issue with, that's for them.
Everything.
Yeah. So
Okay.
like live and like
Just keep doing
this
it.
keep doing it, but with the the parameters of being aware of how it is affecting other people. Like
Okay.
don't change it if someone has a problem with it, but maybe re-examine your behavior if it's causing problems in your life.
Okay. Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Like
Yes.
would you wear this look to work?
No, I don't put that much effort into going to work, but I wouldn't like no, but I know what you're I know what that's referencing actually.
Okay.
So that makes sense.
So, yeah. Um all right, but then we have the 8 of wands here which speaks to um a quickness, which is very very much Uranian energy, right? Like sudden like things speeding up. Um,
Oh,
Now the 3 of swords here is I might pull a clarifying card on this because 3 of swords energy is it usually talks about it's referring to like heartbreak or like, I mean look at the imagery. I don't know if you could see it here.
yeah.
It's a heart with 3 swords piercing it, right? Now if it was reversed, it would have a very different meaning, but I'm gonna get a clarifier to see
Huh.
what this okay. Strength. Okay, reversed. So it kind of goes back to this same. I love the color story here too. I don't know if you can see this. It's like all these yellows like meeting here in the middle. So it kind of goes back to this message here about like living your authentic self and going with the flow and like letting things happen quickly, but not letting not letting. I was just saying before, like we don't want to yuck anyone's yum. But this is telling me, like, don't yuck your own yum based off of things that have happened in the past. Like, this is just another, like, reaffirming of wanting you to like live in your living your authentic life and your authentic truth, no matter what that means. And only you know what that
This
means.
actually can you give me a little bit more on the swords one, because this actually makes sense in a whole nother aspect of my life.
Yeah. So the 3 of Swords is like it's it's a card of heartbreak, right?
Yes. What
Swords
did you lay
swords
on
in
top of
tarot
it?
swords in tarot are this is the strength card, right?
Got
But
it. Okay.
right? So this
That
is
makes
like, but
sense.
it's reversed, so that don't, that's why I was saying, like, it took me right back to this King of Wands reversed,
Mhm.
where I wouldn't want you to, and anyone out there, I wouldn't want anyone to go live out loud and proud based on a foundation of doing it because of past hurts or their pride being hurt or something like this, right? This fountain card right here, which I'm so glad that I know for certain what it means now, wants us where we go, here we go. Wants us to be this energy, right? Like, it's super beautiful, it's crisp and clean, there's no like deviations from it. All that's happening is reflecting off of it, right? Like, we all are light beings, right? So
So it's
this
saying
card
do
is,
that. Could this be saying do that despite heartbreak? Be
yes,
your
and
authentic
not only
self
despite it,
despite your
not
heartbreak and others
not despite of it, but because of. Like,
because of.
this is a time, like, to heal, like, to
Okay.
remind yourself, like, that the childhood you who didn't whatever that means to you, like, you didn't get enough work, like, affirmation or cuddles or whatever that might be, right? Like that shouldn't be like, now's the time to do that for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because if you look at this, like, the strength card is a woman, like, laying with the lion, the beast, and, like, in peace, it's peacefulness, right? It's having the strength to not fight.
Got it.
It takes a lot of strength be to just be. And actually, in the booklet, this booklet here, that was the word at the top of the fountain card. It was just be by itself.
I'm gonna message you after this show and let you know what I think this is actually reading into.
Yeah, of course. I when I read tarot, like, it's often like I say what I say. I don't know what it's in reference
No,
to,
I'm hearing
I just know what I'm being
everything
told.
you say,
Okay,
and
good.
it's just making so much sense, but in like a whole side hustle aspect of my life.
Yeah. Isn't this card beautiful though?
It really is. That is gorgeous. Gosh.
This is like what's happening with the Uranus and Jupiter connection. It's like this, right? And it's
Yeah.
creating this runway of, like, expansion, th like a road
That's
ahead
just
of us
kind of
that we're able
endless.
to. Yes. And, like,
Yeah.
that's this energy, because it's so rare that this happens, especially in the sign of Taurus, it really is creating a moment that could really and I'm not being like, this is not hyperbole, like, this really could affect the rest of your life. It's
Yeah.
going to affect the rest of your life, but because those who are aware of it are able to use that to their advantage, and really, like, use
Yes.
it as a springboard to create this path of illumination for themselves, Like, we're not a victim to our astrology, right? At all. These things are
Right.
going on, but when
Whether
we're
we
aware
want
of
them
it,
to or not, right?
yeah, they're gonna
Just
go
about
on,
being
and
open,
it it's and aware. It's more about being
aware.
an awareness. The more that we're
Okay.
aware of ourselves and what we're giving off and what we're allowing to come in, um, the more control we have over it's like this dichotomy, like this catch-22, because it's like the more you surrender to the vastness of what life is, the more control, quote unquote, that you have over that,
Yeah.
you know? So in all this energy, this conjunction is asking us to do is surrender to who we are, and the gifts, the natural gifts that we each have and that we can bring forward. And I mean, that sounds easy enough, right?
It does, but it's putting it into play is a lot different, but this was awesome.
Yeah,
Wow. Thank you so much, Anthony. I am
yeah,
so
of
happy
course.
we got to do this episode together.
Yeah. If it's cool, I would like to pull one more card. The
Yes.
From this golden future, because that's I
All
really
right.
believe that this. I too was really excited to do this because I wanted to be able to be a mouthpiece for the beauty of what this moment can be for all of us.
So
So
this is kind of a card for everybody
yes,
of what
yes,
this
yes,
what
yes, yes,
this
yes,
change, this planetary conjunction might bring.
yes. Or just maybe a message from our higher self, source energy, whatever you want to call it, God, whatever,
Okay.
um, goddess, just to kind of give us an idea of, like, just to hit home the message of what we learned here tonight.
Nice.
So if you could join me, everyone out there, just taking a slow, deep breath through your nose and allow the message to come through us. Let's all connect here and see what source has to say, has to bring us, what knowledge it has to lay on us.
That's a really beautiful deck.
Yeah, I just got it like a few weeks ago. It's
Ooh, it's
definitely
fresh.
become one of my favorites.
So, just while Anthony is shuffling and we are putting this energy out into these cards, letting you know that he will be at Pride doing readings when Pride is located at Walnut Beach this year on June 15th.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm very much looking forward to it as well. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. Uh-oh, what is this?
Uh-oh, why are you scared?
I'm not. I just always say uh-oh.
All right,
That looks
this
like a
says,
cat.
let's see
Oh,
this, ready? Let me see that. The
nature.
band nature, yes. It says tune into the natural world. Um, like I said, I just got this book, so let's read from the see what the message says. It says in the golden future, everyone will have their 12 dimensional chakras open and active. The silver Earth Star chakra below our feet contains 33 chambers that are tuned into the natural world. When everyone has anchored the chakra, all of humanity will be connected to Gaia. For the first time in eons, we will leave golden footprints as we walk lightly on our beautiful planet. Everyone will love and respect trees, those wise sentient beings that provide food and shelter and keep records of local history. We will revere the forests, which are storing the wisdom of the universe until we are ready to access it. We will enjoy the flowers, greenery, water, and birds, and the nature world will embrace us in peace and healing. We will also recognize and honor the elementals who keep our planet green, healthy, and clean. They will respond by helping us in unimaginable ways. So the guidance of this card is a reminder to love and honor the nature kingdom. Tread lightly on the land and leave beautiful golden footsteps wherever you walk. Remember that whatever you give to nature is returned to you multiplied. You may have drawn this card because you have a deep and loving connection to the earth and the natural world. In that case, communicate with Archangel Perlamiak. I've never heard of this person or this angel, but the wonderful blue-green archangel who oversees the natural world. Because of free will on Earth, he cannot act without human permission. Ask him to help and protect plants, trees, rivers, and the land itself. Tell him what is needed. Your intercession will be of an inestimable help. Sorry for that. To help him in his mission, and your reward will be an enrichment of your heart center. So basically, so what this is telling me is that, um, once again, this is happening in the sign of Taurus, which is the Earth. It's like the most raw Earth energy that we have. So use this to like really. I mean, I can't tell you how much I lived in New York City before I moved back here, like 2 years ago, and the person who I've become because I'm surrounded by trees and bees and birds and deer and earlier when I was on the phone with you, like I saw a squirrel and I squirreled out. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So basically, so what I'm taking from this is that this this thing that's happening in the sky with these huge like energetic bodies of mass floating through the universe might seem like out there and like so far removed from us, but it's all part of like this crazy universe that we live in, right? And if we like bring it down to earth and like the world that we live in, like these same things that I was talking about, like innovation and like forward movement can be applied and maybe should be applied to the world that we live in, like the nature around us, like in honoring the trees, honoring the forest, and these things that, like it said in the card, are holding this like un um how do I say it? Like immense knowledge of what the universe is, you know? Like I honestly believe that we are we're all made up of the same things. It's just like in different patterns, right? So like we are the trees are us. So yeah. So maybe not
Wow.
maybe the message that I'm receiving is to use this opportunity to yes, think big and really big and hope hope that not hope. Sorry. Think big and know, not hope. Know that is going to be um, supported, but also think local and think small and think back to like the nature of things because that's everything that plays out there in the universe is playing here for us as individuals, right? As above, so
Yes.
below, as within, so without. So yeah, I guess just want to leave it there.
I'm putting all my bird feeders out this weekend, and I'm going to go fill up the deer buffet then.
I love it. Yeah, that's become like a great healing moment for me is to sit out back and I have 5 different bird feeders in my this lilac tree
Oh,
outside. So
yay.
yeah,
All right.
it's
Well,
expensive
Anthony,
though.
that was
It's
amazing that
expensive.
you are just so intuitive and so you just know what all this stuff means. It is so amazing. Do you have any parting thoughts for us tonight? It was just so wonderful to have you on the show.
Just be free to live live the you that you are. Um, you know, the only person that you ever hurt by not doing that is yourself. We often will minimize or diminish ourselves because we're afraid of how others might take it. But really, like that's the money. Like that's the get you gotcha of life is like being who you are and loving that and sharing that with the world. Like we're meant to be here to assist others, right? And there's only one you out there that can assist others in that way. So like if you're not doing that, you're not only like not living in your truth, but you're not living wait, how do I say that? You're not able to give the people what they need, and vice
Yes.
versa. So be open, be open to like change and call it in actually, like, bring it to you, like, be open to what's happening and take it and run with it. So,
Very good. Thank you so
spread the
much,
word.
Anthony, for being on our show tonight. And we hope to have you back again and see how this maybe plays out in a few months.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Lots of Tea tonight. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow us on Facebook. You can follow Anthony on Facebook on Ace of One. And I will see you in a few weeks, but then soon we'll be seeing you June 15th at Pride at Walnut Beach. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Miss Mona will be back in 2 weeks.
Are you or someone that you know contemplating suicide or perhaps planning to harm someone else? Or are you organizing a mass shooting? If so, please reach out for help at the nationwide hotline, the helpline at 988. That's right, you just have to dial 988 and a counselor will assist you in the help that you need. Call 988 now. Are you a victim of child abuse or know someone who is? Please notify someone at 1-800-for-a-child. Save a life. Make a change. Or are you or someone you love a victim of domestic violence? Call the people at the Domestic Abuse Hotline at 800-799-SAFE. That's 800-799-7233.